Welcome to today's Clutter Corner. I'm super excited to have you guys join me today. I'm Angela Brown from the Clutter Corner, and today I have a special guest with me, Kathy McEwan. And she is a certified professional organizer, and she's the previous owner of a multi six-figure home organizing company. She's a mom of 5 kids, and she has a podcast called Organize for Success. Please help me welcome Kathy McEwan. So, Kathy, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me on.
Being a mom of 5 kids, I'm sure you've dealt with a lot of decluttering situations where you had to get the kids involved. What
Yeah.
suggestions would you give parents who are still having kids at home? They can't get rid of all their stuff yet.
What I see when I was going into people's homes, or even now while I'm talking to clients, what I'm seeing a lot is that the kids aren't doing enough. The parents are, and it's often the mom, but sometimes it's the dad too. They're just doing so much and the kids aren't doing enough. That's what I'm finding. And it's not easy because you feel like you're nagging them all the time and you're trying to get on their case all the time. But I was pretty strict. I bet you my kids would say that. We used to have family meetings in the living room. We would sit down, all of us, and I'd be like, have my checklist here and say, okay, who's tackling the bathrooms this week? Who's tackling the vacuuming? They were lucky because there was 5, so they got to split 5 ways. They were lucky. When it was me, when I was growing up, my sister was so much younger than me, and it was just the 2 of us. So I did a lot of that myself. I had to teach them that they had to help out. It was only fair. And the earlier you start with kids, the better. Like even as a toddler, as they can walk, then they can carry a toy and put it in a bin. You can start
Mhm.
showing them how to do it. I think the thing is that I find a lot of times parents let the kids get away with things when they probably shouldn't. And it's hard. It's a challenge. It is. Going from the kids not doing much to all of a sudden telling them they have to start doing more, it can be a challenge to get them into the habits and the routines and schedules of doing things. But if you can get through that part, it's so much easier. It's just so much easier to have them on board.
One of the things that, and I'm glad that we are having this conversation because there are a lot of parents, there are 2 schools of thought, and I get yelled at all the time from both sides. There are parents that are like, I want my kids to be kids. I don't want them to have
Yeah.
any responsibilities. I just want them to be a kid. That's their responsibility is to be a kid. They shouldn't have to be cleaning up. And so that's one side. The other side is, oh my goodness, the kid is looking for a sense of purpose. They're looking how they fit in with the community, and your family is a community. They all live under the same roof. Everybody has chores. Everybody does their part. And
Mhm.
if the kid never learns those skills, when they go out into the real world, they don't have the skills and the disciplines and they don't know what to do.
Exactly.
And being a trainer of house cleaners, I cannot tell you how many people pay me an enormous amount of money and they come through my courses and they're like, we don't know how to do a vacuum. We don't know how to empty a vacuum. We don't know how to clean a vacuum after we've used it. We don't know the policies of the cord, if the cord gets frayed or if we are supposed to yank it across the room to make it come out of the wall. We don't know any of those things.
Yeah.
And a part of me, a little piece of me dies. I'm like, why didn't your parent show you this when you were young? But it's the culture that we live in. Kids are stuck to video games and their smartphones and whatever, and they don't really participate. But what's really interesting, and we find lots of kids want to belong. They want to belong to something bigger than themselves. They want to feel like they provided value. They want to feel like, hey, I did something. Check it out. I washed the dishes.
Yeah.
Check it out. I cleaned up the bathroom after I brushed my teeth. And they're so proud of themselves when they are actually able to accomplish the things that the mothers and dads are harried and they're like, "Ah, why does no one help me?" And the
Mhm.
kids are so delighted to be like, "Hey, check it out. I vacuumed the floor. Look how nice it looks. And I made special vacuum lines on the floor and it's so pretty." And so I think it's really important to change the framework of the chores and not be it you go clean your room and it becomes this punishment, but
Right.
it becomes, hey guys, it's time to
Yeah.
clean our rooms. Who's going to clean their room first? Let's
Yeah.
have an inspection. And then let's have extra, I don't know what the reward is, something that's non-sugary, hopefully,
Yeah.
that gives them a reward for cleaning up their room. This is kind of off subject, but we use it a lot, and I use it with adults and kids, but we have what we call the happy bell. And so every time somebody cleans their room or they do something, they get the happy bell. And so we give them the happy bell, or people can ring the happy bell themselves if they have accomplished something.
Yeah.
So it's the happy little dopamine high without the sugar. And we have them in all colors. Here's a blue Happy Bell, and I got a green Happy Bell. We've got them in. Whoa, my color disappeared. Whoa, that's what you get for doing green screen. It disappears. I'll have to show you orange Happy
Sing
Bell.
it.
So we have Happy Bells in all the colors, but they're in every room of the house. Somebody makes the bed, they ring the bell. Somebody washes the dishes, they ring the bell. Somebody wipes up after the bathroom, they ring the bell. And so everybody in the house is like clapping. Hey, I heard a bell. What happened? I cleaned the bathroom. And you wouldn't believe this, but my husband, who's a grown man, is
He
like
rings.
ringing the Happy Bell in the other room. He's like, I washed the dishes. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. He rings a Happy Bell and I ring my Happy Bell in acknowledgement. Yes, you did. That's awesome. Rings a Happy Bell. I took out the trash. I'm like, yes, one less thing for me to do. It's crazy. But all my employees, my husband, these are grown adults and they're all like ringing the Happy Bells, right?
Yeah,
So the kids can fall in line with that as well.
they can. And this is a little off topic, but kids also don't like clutter. They would prefer to have more space to play than toys. So when I'm working with moms is that they think they need to have all these thousands of toys, but what happens when you have so many toys and they're not organized, pieces are missing or it starts breaking down or things happen. And then the kids, they don't like that. They have mental clutter just like adults do. And they know what it's like to be in a home that has a lot of clutter compared to going to a friend's home that isn't. And they also like to have space to play. So sometimes if you have a lot of toys, there isn't a lot of space for them to play. So it's just something else to think about when it comes to raising the children and having toys. So just a
Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you guys go over and visit Kathy at her website. And Kathy, thank you so much for your time and attention today. This was so helpful.
oh, thank you. It's been fun. I really appreciate it. Thank you.